Hey everybody, I hope everyone's doing great. So today what we're going to do is continue on the CRUD. Last time we set it up to where we have this little edit button, and when you click on that, the idea was it was going to pop up into a dialog, and then you'd be able to make changes, and then you close the dialog. When you came back, you'd see your changes. And then when I was thinking about it, I thought it'd be a lot better if you could click it and then make the changes in line, and so you could see the changes in real time. I think it'd be a more enjoyable experience. Um, Without further ado, the first thing we need to do is maintain state. Um, so we want to basically show only the row that's being edited when you click this button, and show like a form right there. So my favorite way to do that is to create like a variable, a state variable, a class level variable, and I will call that edit ID, and I will set it to 0. A basic assumption is that there will never be an ID that is 0, an actual ID that's 0. That breaks this whole system. Um, but so then whenever we need to create a new function, that whenever you're going to click this button, it will set the edit ID. So we're going to say set edit ID, and this will accept an ID, which is a number, and that's weird. Let's see, ID colon number, and it won't return anything. And then this dot edit ID is equal to ID. And that's cool. And now, so we're going to hop over here, and we're going to go find the button, and I'm just going to update the click event so that it does that. And I'm going to say change that to set edit ID. So that's cool. So now we are setting the edit ID. It doesn't do anything, but um, now inside of here we can say only show this row if there's if it's if well, we want two cases, right? One is that um, um, if we're editing, we want to show it. But I mean, if we're not editing, but if we are editing, we want to hide it unless it happens to be the one that we're editing. So I'm going to say if edit ID is equal to 0. So this means we are not editing. Go ahead and show everything. And then we're going to add an or, and we'll say if edit ID is equal to mesh.id. So in this case, we're going to show it in one of two situations. One is if, there we go. We only show it because it was that way. So now we need to hide these and add like a done so that we can get out of edit mode. So we want to add something like this, but we always want to hide these. We always want to show them if we're not editing. Don't you love that negative language? If we're not editing, we want to show that. So if edit ID is equal to 0. It is 0. So then we're going to show that. And then at else, we are going to show another button. And we're going to say reset ID, reset. So just add RE, get rid of this. And I think the icon that we want to use here is called done. And it's not going to be happy because reset doesn't break. And if you're working on an older version of Angular, it doesn't break when it doesn't break when you do that, when you don't have a function. So if you're not, if that's weird to you, it's just an older version. So we're going to set it to 0 whenever that happens. So now let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. Okay. So that state maintenance is working. We're halfway through. So now let's go ahead and show a form whenever we get something like this. So we need to create, it's probably better if I just do it this way. So basically, we do not want to show um, this whenever we're editing. Oh yeah, whenever we're editing. So um, at if boom boom. So we're only going to show that when we're not editing. But when we are editing, we're going to show our form, which is, and we're only going to show the X position. Now, actually, we should show both, I think. So you know what you're working on. And then this, instead of being just text, it's going to be an input text variable. Input text element. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. All right, there's a weird alignment issue there, but oh, that's because of that 13. So it's just centered between two. So that isn't really weird. All right, so now let's see. We still have 330, so we're good. We need to create a reactive form that we're going to use to manage this stuff with, this data with. So we will create a form group. So let's see. Const form is equal to new form group. I can never remember. I don't have all of these right off the top of my head. Okay, so form group does not exist, and so we see. Pay attention here because sometimes you'll get it from a different thing, a different library, but that came from the forms library. Okay, so and then I believe that this has to be like a JSON, and then it's a new, and then let's see, reactive forms. Let's see if we can find a good. I can never remember the thing you want to create. Form control. Okay. New form control. And then we have to know the ID. So I don't know the ID, so I'm going to have to make a change. And then it's xpos is equal to new form control, which we don't know what the position is. So we need to get something back from this guy here. So let's go ahead and close that. So let's go ahead and set that up. Okay, so we want to get one of this thing back right here. So I'm going to create that as a constant now. Const mesh item, which is a mesh interface, is equal to one of this right here. And then we are going to send mesh items a reference to this thing right here, which is very important thing to understand. And then I'm going to return our mesh item. And instead of a void up here, it's going to be a mesh item. Our mesh interface. And we're good. And so now we can come back over here and we can, instead of doing this, we can say const mesh item is equal to that. And we can say go ahead and do the mesh item dot ID. And this is mesh item dot X position. And I think that's all we have time for today. Next time what we'll do is we will go ahead and fill this stuff out. Fill this one out with the actual data, and as you make changes, update it. And that'll be cool. And that'll be the last part. Happy Happy coding, guys. We did it. Bye.